Well, the board's instruction that students were to be assigned to elementary teachers strictly by chance. Put the names on cards, shuffle the cards, have the names of the teachers out there, and shuffle them one by one in absolute indiscriminate fashion to decide who was in which class. So, got the pre-enrollment done. Mr. Majors brought the cards up. He put the names of the students on them. We shuffled those cards and dealt them, each being very aware of what was going on, and Mrs. Menifee had been instructed to feel free to encourage to come in and out to see what we were doing. And, you know, this was important to me too, and to Donna. Our baby was going to be a first grader. Our big boy was going to be a third grader. We'd already heard a lot about which teachers were the good ones, you know. Well, flipping through those cards on the first grade, up comes Rita Riggs, gets the beginning teacher, Miss Rice. Wouldn't have been our preference. We'd like to have had a veteran teacher for our little precious girl. But it, you know, not as much, I hope, as a raised eyebrow. Probably was. But certainly no comment, no hesitation. The cards kept on flipping and being assigned. Got to the third grade, and Roy was assigned to Mrs. Childs. Good teacher, never heard a bad thing about her, but she hadn't been the one that we've been told is the teacher for the third grade. But the deed was done. The shuffles were made, the lists were prepared, and Mr. Majors posted the list. I don't remember where he did, but probably it was on a bulletin board or a door down at the elementary school. Well, as you might expect, it wasn't very long at all until I had a telephone call. Lady might have come in, but I think it was a telephone call if I remember right. And she said, well, there's just one student that I absolutely cannot have. You must change it. Lady, you know what the board said. It's been publicized in the paper. We're going to follow the policy. You can't do that because this is a child that I had last year and I failed her. She didn't pass. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to me to have her in my classroom. Well, darn, you know, I can kind of see that. But on the other hand, the board had to know of these kinds of things. And they said absolutely no exceptions. So I said, sorry, no exception. Well, you know, I can well imagine, knowing how local politics works, that teacher called one or two or maybe three board members to state her case. And bless their hearts, they must have been just as kind and professional as could be, and said, we've set a policy, we expect the superintendent to follow it. We're sorry that it works out badly for you. You know the nice things you can say and mean. She called me again, pleaded her case again, that you simply have to do something in this one instance. And the temptation was strong. She wasn't unreasonable. But again, knowing the situation and knowing if you make the one exception, you're going to have a few or a lot of others saying, well, now this and this also is an exception that needs to be made. So the answer was no. And bless that lady's heart. She was furious. I know she really did think about retiring, quitting. She didn't. And I never once again heard anything about it. I think she did a great job for the student, and I suspicion that the student did a good job for her, because it never entered into conversations again, to my knowledge. And incidentally, in the 3 years we were there, Rita had the beginning teacher and had less than the teacher each of her 3 years. And the girl turned out to be a marvelous student. Roy had Mrs. Childs, who certainly was one of the better and good teachers of third grade. He had Mrs. Sapisi and Mrs. Newman, teachers that were right up there on the list as being outstanding teachers for grades 3 and 4. Roy's a bright boy. He's done very, very, very well. He never really liked school that much and was never the student that his little sister was, who didn't get the, quote, best teachers at Elkhart.